Oh yeah, welcome back everybody to another hot episode. Oh yeah, another hot episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast we talk about all your favorite TV series from yesteryear and then discuss it over a glass of pink Moscato. And I'm your host, Patrick M. Dunn. Hello, me. And I'm joined here as always, by my right-hand woe man, Kat Halstead, the author.
Hello. I love that you're the one drinking the pink Moscato.
What's wrong with this? Is this like an opposite day or something?
Yeah, well, I'm sitting here just drinking coffee. But then again, to be fair, it's only 9-something in the morning for me.
You can't drink coffee at 9-something in the morning? Is that a crime?
Drinking coffee that early? No.
I meant pink Moscato.
No, but I'm glad I got you on the pink Moscato train.
Yeah, I'm on that train. Driving that train. High on pink Moscato. Casey Jones, you better watch your speed.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, it's been a while since we've recorded. Feels like this is our first episode ever.
It has been a while.
All of our summer eps were recorded. We did 3 episodes a week. We've just been letting them release, so now we're back in a recording phase. So I feel like it's been months since I've last heard from you. How you been? Are you moving or something? What are all those boxes behind you?
I am moving.
Whoa.
I'm not moving far. I'm just moving a few blocks away.
Oh yeah, it's like when Jesse Consopoulos and Aunt Becky were going to move down the street. Mm-hmm. And Michelle got sad. So I'm sure you'll be going through that in your Full House scenario.
I'm already getting the pouts.
From your nephew?
The other night, I went to go spend the night at my boyfriend's place, and Axton goes, "You're not moving right now, are you?" And I was like, no, sweetie. I'll tell you when I'm moving out.
Well, he's got a new playroom.
So I need to have a chat with him and be like, Saturday Aunt Cat leaves.
And then you got to explain to him what Saturday is because he's a child and he doesn't know what days of the week are.
He knows. He's a smart kid.
Oh, good for him. Yeah, good for him for having brains.
He's a smart kid who asked me about Slender Man the other day. So Aunt Cat had a moment there where I was like, hold on, back it up. What did you just say?
We know he loves his villains.
He does.
I can't wait until he finds Freddy Krueger and Jason and Michael Myers.
Oh my god. I know, and I'm going to be like, he's going to try to teach me about that. I'm going to be like, honey, Aunt Cat knows.
The leprechaun.
Aunt Cat would purposely watch that stuff when you were in school. So she had to watch it in the middle of the day.
So I'm excited about what we're doing tonight. Kind of excited, but also kind of not excited because I feel like we picked a dud of an episode, and it turns out to be a 2-parter.
I didn't realize it was a 2-parter until you told me.
It doesn't really explicitly end with a to be continued. Mm-hmm. When I was on CBS All Access, it did say Last of the Red Hot Psychologists Part 1, and then Last of the Red Hot Psychologists Part 2. So I was like, oh, something's telling me. Mm-hmm. Something's telling me that this is an hour-long episode that we were not prepared for.
And literally, it's actually an hour long.
It really is. It really is a long-ass episode.
So I pay for CBS All Access without commercials. It's worth it. It's just worth it. And then I was like, oh, wow, this is really long. I'm like, maybe that is supposed to include the commercial breaks. And nope, that was literally the first episode was 29 minutes. 34 seconds or something ridiculous like that.
Maybe it was one of those nights, I remember NBC every now and then used to pull one of those, no commercials.
Back in the 80s?
I don't know. Probably. Maybe a supersized Family Ties. Who knows?
Oh, that's what we're doing tonight, Family Ties.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Tonight, this morning, whatever time it is.
You keep dating the time of the day, and it really doesn't matter to people. That's what I love about you, Kat Halstead. That's what I love about you. You say good evening, and then I say good evening, and then you correct me and say that's morning, and then I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter.
And I'm like, good morning. Every damn time.
All right, yeah, so we're doing Family Ties, the first 2 episodes of Season 6. This aired on a Sunday night. It was a Sunday night staple, September 13th, 1987. Mm-hmm. This is the hot season premiere of Family Ties. They were excited to have the Keatons back. They were back and ready, back in the habit, just back to cause some damage. Mm-hmm. And we pretty much get this episode is 96% Michael J. Fox. And
yes,
I just want to point out one thing before we go further. Mm-hmm. Michael J. Fox's haircut in this episode, I was not having it. I don't know why. There was just something about his hair.
Really?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what his season 5 haircut looked like, and I can't remember. But it definitely did not look like it looked like in tonight's episode. He kind of had I don't know, like a Marcy from Married with Children cut.
Ooh.
I don't know. There's just a lot of mousse in it. I don't know, like mousse or like hairspray or something.
I mean, that was the 80s, though.
I know, but he never had that style before. He kind of just had that, like, he had the longer hair, and it was just kind of nice, I guess. It was okay. But I don't know, it's like super spiky this year for some reason. I don't know.
I think it was just the trend.
Probably. It was just very distracting. I don't know. I couldn't get over it. And I tried to Google it, tried to see if anyone else had felt the same way that I felt, and it never came up in anything else. It's just me.
Well, what year was this episode?
September 13th, 1987. I just said it.
Yeah, 87. So the year he did his movie, The Secret of My Success, came out.
Yeah, so like we're hot off that. We're hot off that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a number one at the box office. Critically acclaimed. Actually, I don't think it was, but it was hot at the box office.
Yeah, I was going to say, out of like the Michael J. Fox movies I've seen, not my favorite.
I know I've seen it. I definitely used to watch it on like Showtime or the Cinemax or something back in the day. Mm-hmm. It used to be on all the time in like 1991. I haven't seen it since. I'll just throw that out there.
Though, outside of the Back to the Future movies, I think my favorite Michael J. Fox movie is Greed.
But yeah, Greed's good.
Greedy.
I like The Frighteners, but his star power was starting to fade by that point, I think. Mm-hmm. Probably one of his last great roles. He was in Doc Hollywood too, right? Was that him?
Yes, Doc Hollywood.
I fucking love that movie. That was great. But I don't think it was
oh my god.
I don't think it was a critical and commercial success, though.
It was just one of those movies I remember airing on like WPIX a lot.
I'm going to throw this out there. So, Michael J. Fox was all the rage during the Back to the Future and the Teen Wolf, the first Teen Wolf anyway.
Yeah.
But I feel like outside of that, he kind of faded. His star power just kind of faded. He kind of had a mini revival with Spin City, but I mean, he works. He appears in things here and there. He steadily acted through the 2000s. He had a sitcom in like 2014 or something, 2013, 2014. Mm-hmm. He was on episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm. He lived upstairs from Larry David.
He left Spin City because he wanted to focus on being healthy.
And he got a little better. He figured out how to, I guess, balance his illness with his
manage, and then
came back and
like he tried the return to TV. Okay, so I watched that sitcom he did like in 2013 or whatever it was. It was not good.
And I remember they heavily promoted it. It was heavily promoted.
Big time.
This was supposed to be the show, but it never happened.
No, like the idea was a good idea, but the way they executed was just awful.
What was the idea? I don't remember it, to be honest with you.
I don't even remember. It was like a working actor trying to get back in, or something, like a news anchor trying to get back into the game or something. After like finding out he had Parkinson's or something.
It's the years later trying to slip back into the world. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not really an original idea anymore. Let's kind of throw that out. I mean, every now and then we try to get a show that's like that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And, it kind of worked for Sybil, pulled it off really well. But
yeah,
I don't know. Has there been another show that has successfully pulled that maneuver?
I don't know, honestly. Not that I can think of recently, at least.
So all our Katie Pats out there, if you can think of an example, tweet us at Very Podcast. Tell us, school us, correct us, shame us in public. Just do what you have to do. Just let us know if we've ever had well, there's the comeback with Lisa Kudrow.
I mean,
it got one season. Everyone loved it. It never got picked up, but it got renewed for a second season years later, and people still loved it. So
I don't know. I never watched it.
What? I was just spit my pink Moscato all over my computer screen. You've never watched The Comeback on HBO?
No.
We need to stop what we're doing right now. You need to go watch The Comeback, season 1. Then we're going to come back and talk about it. Then you're going to go back and watch season 2. And then we're going to come back and talk about it. Then we'll do this episode of Family Ties.
No.
What?
No.
I don't know how to respond to that. I've just been...
Majority shareholder says no.
Why don't you want to watch The Comeback? Like, what do you have against The Comeback?
I just have no desire to.
It's fucking brilliant. It's the most brilliant show that's ever been on television. That specific year it came out. 2001, maybe? There was... no, I think that was like... I think that was right after Sex and the City ended, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm, I think so.
It was post-Friends. The Kirstie Alley show was also on. Fat Actress was on at the same time, too, so they were kind of the similar type shows. Mm-hmm. But The Comeback was the better of the two. And she just plays a maniacal former star who's just trying to make her comeback, and things just aren't working out for her. Things just have a way of not working out, and it's great. Stay tuned for my side pod, the comeback with January Jones and special guest Lisa Kudrow. We've been looking to do a project together, so this could be it.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe I'll have her come on the show as her character.
It's never gonna happen.
How do you know? How do you know I don't have her on speed dial?
I wish you guys could see the look I'm giving him right now.
Hey Siri, call Lisa Kudrow.
Did you mean Lisa Dubé?
No, I did not mean that. Never mind. All right. You want to get into this world of 1987? You want to paint the landscape?
Yes, what's going on in 1987?
What isn't going on in 1987? That's all I have to say. Are you ready for... I know I always say this. I always say it's a hot night of television, but I don't know. Tonight, I think, might be it. We got a lot of star power tonight.
Uh-huh.
We got a lot of movies. It's Sunday night, so we get a lot of made-for-TV movies.
I'm just waiting to be amazed. I am waiting to be wowed with this wild night of television.
We're going to kick off with our friends, our folks at the Alphabet. You know them. You love them. It's Sunday night at 7 o'clock. Any guesses? Any hot guesses?
No.
The show formerly known as The Wonderful World of Disney, now rebranded, the previous year it was rebranded as the Disney Sunday Movie. And tonight is the first time the time slot dropped from 2 hours to only 1 hour. And I was all excited to see what aired, but I couldn't find any data whatsoever.
Dang it.
For some reason, no data existed for what aired this night. If you know what aired this night, September 13th, 1987, on the Disney Sunday Movie, tweet us at Very Podcast.
Okay.
ABC 8 o'clock. ABC 8 o'clock. Spencer for Hire.
Okay.
Know the show?
Yes. I feel like, haven't we talked about this?
We have, I believe, based on the series of books by Robert B. Parker and starring Robert Urich as Spencer, a private dick from the tough streets of Boston who tackles on a hot new case every week. Ooh, duh. I love myself a good private dick. You know that. Get ready for some TV movie drama. Get ready. This is exciting. Because tonight, we are going to watch Bluffin' It. Any guesses on what this could...
Bluffin' It?
Bluffin' It. Yes, I'm calling my bluff.
Okay.
Do you have any guesses as to what this could be about?
Some crazy woman faking a pregnancy?
Not a pregnancy, but someone faking something. So this is around the era when literacy movement really kicked in.
Oh.
We started finding out that people were illiterate. So this is about a middle-aged factory worker who deals with the reactions of his family and coworkers as he struggles to overcome his inability to read. So this starred Dennis Weaver, a guy who was once on Gunsmoke. He was the star of this movie. I don't know the name, though.
I just looked this up because I was like, what is Patrick talking about? I don't recognize this guy from anything.
But, I don't know, I am kind of intrigued by this movie, though. I kind of want to watch it.
I can't even fathom.
I just remember around this time, I remember being, from 1987 to early 90s, there was this huge, I remember just talking about in school, we'd always talk about adults who didn't know how to read, and we were all us kids were shook. And then one of my teachers was like, yeah, there's a lot of adults who don't know how to read. And, that's why you're lucky to have such a great school system. And I was just mind blown. And it's true. There's a lot of people who don't know how to read.
Trust me, in my job, I see it every day.
Yeah, in my job too, there's people who approach me, and I ask them if they could just fill out a form, and they can't do it because they say that they don't know how to read. I don't know. It's just wild. It's wild.
I mean, I don't get people who admit they can't read, but I get people who can barely log on to the computer, and they just stare at it. I'm like, you have to read this, and they just stare at me like I'm crazy.
Well, computers are hard. I'm not gonna lie.
And I'm like, just read this sheet, and they just look at me like I'm nuts. I'm like, oh my god, I know where I'm spending my next 4 hours, right behind this person.
We will not shame them. We will not shame them.
No.
We will gladly take our time and work with them and allow them to function. So I don't know. Shout out to the movie Bluffin' It for bringing this to the forefront of 1987 America and just letting the world know that, hey, it's all right to struggle to read. All right, you ready for the Tiffany Network? You ready to hop on over to America's Eye?
Yeah, it was on CBS.
What wasn't on CBS? That's all I got to say. So we know the first 2 hours. Am I right? 7, 8 o'clock? Any guesses?
Yeah.
What do you think?
What time did you give me?
7 and 8 o'clock.
7 and 8 o'clock. 60 minutes.
And what's on after?
And then Murder, She Wrote.
Tonight was a rerun of Murder, She Wrote, so maybe Jessica wasn't quite back yet. Maybe they were saving her for another week. Mm-hmm. They didn't want her going up against Family Ties, the big premiere, the debut of Michael J. Fox's new haircut. They were shook. CBS was shook. All right, but CBS 9 o'clock, though. CBS 9 o'clock was not messing around.
Yeah.
They weren't messing around at all. They're going at us. They're going at us with Nobody's Child.
Nobody's Child. Okay.
A TV movie starring Marlo Thomas, which is the true story of Marie Balter. Do you know about Marie Balter?
No, not off the top of my head.
All right. She's a woman who spent 20 years in a mental hospital, and then when she got out, she became a successful mental health professional.
Oh, really?
So we're getting a night of inspiring stories tonight.
Okay.
I like it. Want to head over to the Peacock? Want the Peacock to strut its feathers?
Yeah, what's going on the Peacock?
All right, we have a 7 o'clock hour, and I am fucking excited about this show. I've never seen it. I'm aware of it. I've heard about it. I have always wanted to watch it, but I have never, these eyeballs, these hot blue eyes have never seen this hot show. Are you familiar? I know you know this. Are you familiar with a show called Our House?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Starring Deidre Hall and Shannon Doherty.
And Wilfred Brimley and Chad Allen, an actor who later went on to have a recurring role on My Two Dads, a major gig on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and then in 2015, he announced that he was done with acting.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah, Our House. This was a family series which ran for 2 seasons, which dealt with the struggles of 3 generations living under one roof. I believe Deidre Hall was a widow, right? Or did her husband die?
I believe so, yes.
And she was, stuck.
I mean, I have not watched this since it aired in, 1987.
Yeah, I believe her husband died. She had her kid, Shannon Doherty, and the other guy, Chad Allen, and they have to go move back in with her dad. And I think her dad had a family, too. I don't know. There was a lot of people in the house. That's all I remember. It was like Full House, but a drama.
Yeah, I honestly don't really remember much of that show. I remember I watched it.
And we get like a 13-year-old Shannon Doherty, the pre-Brenda years. It's great. Love it.
Yes.
Just think if this show had been a hot hit and it got on for many years, we would have never met Brenda Walsh.
I know, right?
And Brenda Walsh would have been played by someone different. Someone probably Justine Bateman or something. Who knows?
Ugh.
What was that?
Listen, I have a favorite Bateman and it's not Justine.
Is it the third Bateman that we don't know about?
No, it's Jason.
Okay. You ready for NBC 8 o'clock Family Ties? Yeah, a whole hour of Family Ties.
Yeah, Family Ties.
And then at 9 o'clock, the 2-hour series premiere of Private Eye. Do you know about this show?
Private Eye. I know the title.
You're probably thinking of the Jason Priestley Canadian, detective series that's on right now.
Yeah, probably, which I really got to figure out how to watch because I really want to watch it.
It's on some American channel airs it, but they're like a year behind.
Yeah, they're like a year behind. It's like some random obscure channel that I never watched. So I'm like, oh. I find out after it's aired. I'm like, well, damn it.
All I know is it involves Jason Priestley is a former hockey player who solves crimes and he has a horse. That's all I know.
Yeah.
One of my...
So, because I used to see the commercials or catch the ending all the time when I would watch Big Brother Canada.
Oh, yeah. One of my friends is Canadian, and she told me that the only thing that she knows about the show is that it has a horse in it. So, I don't know. That's added to my Rolodex of information about this show. Yeah, so Private Eye was a detective series set in 1950s Hollywood.
Okay.
And do you have any guesses who was in this show? I'm going to give you a hint.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a hot hint. He was in a blockbuster movie this summer.
Josh Brolin.
You got it.
I just watched that movie a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah, Josh Brolin. He played a detective who inherits, I guess, his brother's private detective company. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know, he's a young detective and solves crimes, but it was canceled in 1988, so I don't even think it finished off the season.
Yeah, probably not.
That's that night of television. On a scale of 1 out of 5 canceled Shannon Doherty series, how many canceled Shannon Doherty series would you give this?
I'll give it a 3.
3? Yeah. You know what? I'm going to give it it's going to get an extra 0.5 just for Deidre Hall and Shannon Doherty being under the same roof. Like it's like a half point.
Yes.
So I'll go with you.
Yes, because like I just looked it up. Okay, do you want to know who played like the dad?
Who played the dad?
Like in flashbacks?
Yes.
Patrick Duffy.
Whoa, really?
Yes.
Was he still on Dallas at the time?
I want to say no. No, because this is like when he left Dallas.
Comes back for, I don't know, like a few minutes every week to be in flashback for. Or did the show regularly do flashbacks?
Yeah, they did like a few. It says there were like the occasional flashback that included him.
Okay, I dig it.
Because like it's the son, like John dies, and that's like Patrick Duffy. His dad, Wilford Brimley, invites his daughter-in-law Jessica, aka Deidre Hall, and her 3 kids to move to California and live with him until she gets back on her feet financially. So then you get like 15-year-old Chris, aka Shannon Doherty, 12-year-old David, aka Chad Allen, and then 8-year-old Molly, played by some girl named Carrie Hallahan, who doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so there's no link next to her.
Shout out to her. Call us, tweet us at Very Podcast. Tell us what it was like working with Shannon Doherty pre-90210. Was she a terror on the set at a young age? We want to know. We're dying to know. I have a hot question for you, though. I have a hot question.
Yeah.
Do you think that Patrick Duffy and Deidre Hall would make a beautiful child?
Yeah, probably.
I bet you they would have, if they procreated, they would probably have the hottest human being on Earth right now. Let's say in 1987. It's 1987. Patrick Duffy and Deidre Hall, they were on filming one of their flashbacks, and I don't know, they just got really hot and heavy for each other, and Deidre Hall unexpectedly became pregnant. 1988, she dropped a baby, so that baby's what, 31 right now? That child's 31? Let's say they're twins. It's a male and a female.
I mean, Deidre herself is a twin.
That is true. So she's got the twin gene in her. Yeah. So you know that 31-year-old child right now, this fictional 31-year-old twins, that man, that woman, they're the people's hottest twins right now. People magazine, sexiest twins alive.
Wow, Deidre Hall didn't leave Days of Our Lives until 1987. And Our House started in 86. And she would film Our House on the weekdays and tape Days of Our Lives on Saturdays.
Girl was busy. Girl had a busy year.
NBC would never allow this shit today.
Deidre Hall was like the star of Days of Our Lives. Still is.
There are a few people who, like, when you hear their name, you connect them to their soap forever, no matter what. Susan Lucci will always be Erica Kane, you know? Kim Zimmer will always be Reva. Jeannie Francis will always be Laura. Deidre Hall will always be Marlena.
Everyone's favorite Leslie Ann Down will always be Olivia Richards. Yes, everyone's favorites.
Oh, let's not forget that Deidre Hall also produced and starred in the Never Say Never, the Deidre Hall story, a made-for-TV movie about her personal struggles to become a mother.
We have to do that. We have to do that for Deidre Hall December one month. Looking forward to Deidre Hall December. When we get tired of doing Christmas episodes, we're just going to have a Deidre Hall theme. I can't wait. We'll do Marlena as the devil. We'll do Never Say Never. We'll do a hot episode of Our House. We'll do that weird, like, that superhero show she did in the 70s.
Yes.
I can't wait. Looking forward to it. All right. I want to do a quick Courteney Cox corner before we get into the episode, only because Courteney Cox makes her debut as Lauren in this episode.
Okay.
So are you ready? And I just want to throw this out there. This is a pretty boring hour of Family Ties, so we got time. We got fucking time. Not much happens in this episode, let's be real.
I feel like you really hated this episode, and I did not.
It's an hour of Michael J. Fox hating Courteney Cox, but secretly wanting to fuck her. That's the whole fucking hour.
I mean, it's classic.
All right, we got to paint the landscape, because right now, like, we say, oh, we want to do a Courteney Cox episode. Like, Courteney Cox is a name. She's a thing. We know who she is.
Yes.
But in 1987... no. Like, we know her as Jules Cobb in Cougar Town, Gail Weathers in the Scream franchise, Monica Geller in Friends. But before all that, even before Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, she had the 19-episode run on a little show called Family Ties.
Yes.
What drew her to the role of Lauren Miller, the last of the red-hot psychologists on Family Ties? The world may never know.
A steady paycheck.
Yeah. But perhaps it was a hot 1984 debut as the young woman pulled on stage to dance with Bruce Springsteen in the Dancing in the Dark video.
Maybe.
Hold on. 1987, though. 1987. Courteney Cox's star power was rising this year because just a few weeks prior, she was in the starring role. Yes, starring role. I refuse to believe that Masters of the Universe is a film about He-Man. Let's be real. Dolph Lundgren has like 10 lines in the whole movie. This is Courteney Cox's film.
Yes.
Am I right?
It really is. Like, okay, if you watch it, it is totally Courtney's film.
Yeah, it just, they wanted to be a He-Man movie. They cast Dolph Lundgren. They realized Dolph Lundgren doesn't speak English. And so they just had to throw in this like hot earthling, revolve the movie around her.
Pretty much. Okay, like, let's be real. It's the same thing with like the Captain America movie. Like, Captain America in that movie was really fucking lame.
Yeah.
Didn't do jack shit. And Sharon had to do everything.
Yeah, shout out to Sharon. Not Sharon Carter, but Sharon, like, Smith, or I don't remember what her name was.
Whatever, what her last name was. Whatever.
Yeah.
Peggy's daughter or whatever. Not even Peggy.
Not Peggy's daughter. Yeah, not even Peggy. It was someone else. It was, like, Betty.
Yeah, it was like, whatever.
Anyway, Courteney Cox continued to rise in film. In 1988, she lands the role in Cocoon: The Return, the long-awaited sequel. Yes, 3 years is a long time in 1980s numbers. To Cocoon, the science fiction, fantasy, comedy, drama. Yeah, a film that is genre-spanning. It was no critical darling, nor a commercial success, but it had a hot cast, including the aforementioned Wilfred Brimley.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And third name in the cast. And third name in the cast list. Yes, third fucking name in this cast list. It's Courteney Cox. You go, girl.
Damn. That's pretty impressive.
I've never seen Cocoon: The Return, though. I'm going to throw that out there.
You haven't? I totally have.
I've seen Cocoon, but I've never seen Cocoon: The Return. Who the fuck would... I didn't even know there was a sequel to Cocoon.
Like, okay, I haven't watched it in, like, forever. I remember, like, my parents and grandparents and cousins, like, watching it on, like, a VHS they rented back in the day. Whoa, you were, like, super close up. Holy crap.
I'm moving. I'm on the go right now.
I was like, this is vlogger style. What is happening?
All right, finish your Cocoon tale.
Yeah,
Cocoon corner.
I remember just, like, learning, like, watching it with my parents, but, like, it's been, like, ages since I've watched. Like, it's a movie I wanted to watch. Like, I wanted to rewatch Cocoon, but it hasn't been streaming, so...
So, do you want to rewatch Cocoon, or do you want why can't I talk right now? Or do you want to rewatch Cocoon: The Return?
I kind of want to rewatch Cocoon and then rewatch Cocoon: The Return, just to tie it all together.
Okay. See, I finished watching Cocoon, the first one, and like it wasn't like, oh my god, I need to make another one of these.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
I mean, you're also, like, how old now when you watched it? And
I was probably like 8 when I watched Cocoon. 11.
Yeah, like, you weren't thinking about sequels.
I don't know. You know what?
Like, think about when we were kids, movies were just starting to really have sequels.
I'm going to throw this out there. When I was young, I wanted every movie to have a sequel. I would watch, like, Necessary Roughness, and I'm like, oh my god, I want Necessary Roughness 2. Or I would watch, like, A League of Their Own, and I'm like, oh my god, I want A League of Their Own 2. Everything had to have a fucking sequel. I just fell in love with movies.
Yeah.
When we finally got a sequel, I was always let down. But I do secretly love sequels, so I'm going to throw that out there. Like, sometimes I just, like, will watch a movie, the sequel, before I even watch the original, just to, like, see if I can, like, hop in this world, and then I'll go back.
Yeah.
Try it, girl. Try it.
I'll keep that in mind.
You want to do a quick Family Ties breakdown? Kind of describe what the show's about?
Yes, let's do a quick Family Ties breakdown.
All right, so what is this show about? What is this show all about?
So the show is about the Keaton family. You have the parents, Elise and Steven, and they are like these former hippies who now live in like Ohio with their 4 kids at this point. You have Elise is a freelance architect, and Steven is like the manager of the local PBS station.
Yes, all right. I love knowing that he's like the manager of a local television station, and I hope he's in charge of like fun, wacky 80s shows that were on like local like TV stations.
I mean, it's a local PBS station.
I don't know. I feel like our local PBS had some fucking weird shows though.
I don't know.
I don't know about yours. Mine did. I don't know about yours.
I don't know. I had Channel 13.
Just weird shows of kids hanging out in, I don't know, in like an auditorium or something. It was just something weird. And they had some weird show that, for teens. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is PBS, but this is definitely a local show. It had, it was kind of a take on American Bandstand, but it was localized. So it was just Boston area people. And Mark Wahlberg was totally in an episode at one point. This was right before like Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch popped. Mm-hmm. Like right at that point. You can find it on YouTube, I believe.
Okay.
He's like dancing in an auditorium. It's like a high school gym.
I mean, I just remember like watching, like back then, all I would watch is like Romper Room, Mr. Rogers, and like Sesame Street. I would watch Romper Room because like one of my like preschool friends was like on Romper Room.
Oh, really? Shit. Mm-hmm. Do you think we can get that person on the podcast? And
I haven't talked to that person in like a few decades.
find him on Facebook and say, hey, will you come on my podcast? We should talk about television. You can talk about your experience on Romper Room if you remember it.
Like if you remember it.
All right. Can I do my Keaton breakdown in order from my favorite to least favorite?
Oh gosh, go for it.
My forever love, Elise Keaton. I'm going to say the top 3 TV moms, along with Cindy Walsh and Maggie Seaver. And let's be real, that's it. That's all I need. Sorry, Carol Brady.
Okay.
Sorry, Carol Brady.
Okay. I
Then?
accept your top 3.
You're not a fan of my top 3?
No, I get it. I wouldn't personally put Elise in that.
What?
Yeah.
Who would you put? Who would you put in place of Elise? Who the fuck would you dare put in that spot?
I would put Claire Huxtable.
Okay, all right, acceptable answer. I was like, please do not say someone that I fucking hate. Please do not say Jill Taylor. We love you.
I almost did just to see your reaction.
I would have just thrown my computer at the wall and broke it into a million little pieces. All right. Can I throw some love at my second favorite Keaton?
Okay, yeah, who's your second favorite Keaton?
Stephen Keaton.
Okay.
He's cool. Today's audiences would probably refer to him as a DILF. And if you don't think he's fuckable, then you need to get your eyes checked. Plus, he's a television station manager.
You know what I find interesting about these two? Is that they still get paired up today in TV movies on like Hallmark as the parents.
Really? Michael Gross and Meredith Baxter are in movies together?
Yes, I believe there is a Hillary Burton movie from Hallmark where they play her parents.
I think I need to check this out.
Yes, I think it's, oh god, what the hell was that stupid thing called? Hold on.
Is he still a DILF?
Like, he was in a Hallmark movie I was watching just a few weeks ago as a dad. Yeah, it was Naughty or Nice from 2012. This film reunites Meredith Baxter and Michael Gross, who both starred in the television series Family Ties, and they played her parents.
I dig it. Were they former hippies?
No.
Aw. All right, you ready to throw some love to my third favorite Keaton?
I have a feeling not so much.
All right, we're gonna go spend the afternoon with Mallory. Oh yeah, Mallory. I used to be a Justine Bateman stan. I still might be if she worked. In the mid to late 2000s, when we're at peak Jason Bateman renaissance, Justine guest starred in one episode of Arrested Development in a episode actually titled Family Ties, and I was like, this is it. This is her return.
And then, like, nothing.
Yeah, but about Mallory, she's the anti-Alex. We'll get to you in a minute. She don't give a fuck about political hijinks of the 1980s, but she is into fashion and spending money in fashion. Yeah, fashion.
So she's not fully the anti-Alex.
I do think she is, because she...
Okay, if anybody's the anti-Alex, it's Jennifer. Because here's the thing. Mallory is still about money and power, but not the same way that Alex is.
I think Jennifer is kind of the opposite of both of them, methinks. Mm-hmm. So I think Mallory and Alex were kind of pit against each other because they have differences. She don't care about what's going on in Iran-Contra right now.
Yeah.
She's more concerned about, I don't know, like this hot fucking wool sweater that she wants to get for the school year, but it's too hot right now to wear it.
But she definitely cares about the status and the money more than Alex would more than Jennifer would.
Speaking of Jennifer, she's my fourth favorite Keaton. We're going to throw some love at Jennifer. Tina Yothers should have been a star. She should have been a star, methinks. Instead, she appeared as herself in a bevy of celebrity editions of reality and game shows. And hold on. And she once played Tanya Hardin in one of the 8 million Tanya Hardin movies. And unlike Margot Robbie, Tina Yothers knew who the fuck she was. Knew who the fuck Tanya Hardin was. I always thought...
Oh my god.
I always thought Jennifer was the bomb. She was a tomboy, but she grew into her own in the later seasons. And she avoided the pitfalls of becoming a political junkie and a Valley Girl wannabe, which is kind of what Mallory was. Like, she wasn't quite a Valley Girl, but she was a Valley Girl wannabe, he thinks. Does Ohio have a valley? She was like the Ohio Valley girl.
Yeah, I think Ohio does have a valley.
All right. Well,
I know Brandon hit us up. Tell us.
yeah. Tell us about the Ohio Valley girls. Are they all like Mallory Keaton? You ready for my fifth favorite Keaton?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. Let's give some love. Let's give some love to Alex P. Keaton. Sure, Michael J. Fox may have been the breakout star, but Alex P. Keaton is ugh. That's all I gotta say is ugh.
How?
At least in this episode.
How can Alex be this far down on your list?
I don't know. Like it's funny because this child, Alex, emerged from Elise's womb, and he grows up to be like the opposite of Elise and Steven's ideology. He's all about Ronald Reagan. He's probably wearing a MAGA hat right now. Let's be real. He's probably wearing a MAGA hat. It's just funny that he was the opposite of them, and it was great for like a few seasons. You know, it's fun and hijinks, but at some point, the character just becomes insufferable. Michael J. Fox became a huge star, and I feel like this just ends up becoming the Michael J. Fox show, not to be confused with the other Michael J. Fox show, the 2013-2014 series, the Michael J. Fox show. Mm-hmm. That's my hot take on Alex P. Keaton.
I mean, I don't know. I've just always loved Alex.
I don't know.
But
Overrated. But hold on. I'm sure we could both agree that Andy, the baby of the show, is the shittiest. Am I right?
Oh, why you gotta be so harsh on Andy? He was adorable.
Ugh, he's just a waste of time on the show. They just wanted to do you know what? We're like a couple of years into the show. Let's make Elise pregnant.
Well, I believe it was because Meredith was actually pregnant in real life.
I know, but she could have like fucking hid behind some furniture pieces and set pieces and hid her pregnancy. They did it for every other fucking star.
Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't.
And it doesn't work. I don't know. It doesn't work. He's played by Brian Bonzel, who would later go on to be the star of Blank Check.
That is such a fun movie.
A movie that I watched 6 million times in my preteen years.
Yeah.
And once in my adult life. Like, I watched it maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, and then I questioned my own sanity because I was like, I once thought this was a hot movie.
Like, it's a crazy movie.
It's got Karen Duffy in it, Tone Loc, Miguel Ferrer. Fucking Brian Bonzel just happens to have a blank check. He goes to a bank, writes like $1 million, and buys like tons of shit with it.
And for cash.
Yeah, buys tons of shit with it that you would never be able to buy with $1 million. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I mean, he buys a house.
No, he doesn't buy a house. He buys a fucking castle. A fucking castle in town.
I mean, to be fair, maybe $1 million went further back in the day.
I mean, I'm gonna say the castle probably was the bulk of it. And a working functional water slide was probably not cheap either.
Unless it came with the house.
The working functional water slide? I'm sure it did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure it came with a house. You're right. You're totally right.
I mean, it's been a few years since I watched it, but...
Maybe we'll have to watch it this weekend. Maybe we'll have like a blank check weekend and we'll just pop some popcorn, watch blank check, and just, I don't know, reminisce what it was like to be 12 in 1993 or whatever year this movie came out. I remember seeing it in movie theaters.
Oh, wow. Brian Bonzel graduated from Boulder High in 2000.
Really? Yeah, he's the same age as us, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I always remember, for some reason I always remembered that. I don't know why. I always knew that we were the same age. Even when I was like a little kid. You know what? Even when I was a little kid, I fucking hated Andy. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Gosh, you're so bitter.
I was like, oh, I just want to see Elise. Like, where's Elise? Why is Elise not on the screen right now?
Well, you know, there was backstage tension about that whole thing. Like,
all right.
Because Michael J. Fox got so much attention, Meredith and Michael Gross were like, yeah, this is not okay. Because they thought it was like their show.
And it wasn't. I'm with them. I'm with them on this because it's a family show, but once Michael J. Fox became huge, he just let's have all our storylines focused around Alex. And that's why we get a two-parter in which Alex tries to fuck Courteney Cox, but he's not sure if he wants to fuck her. And it's like 50 minutes of that and then 10 minutes of other stuff.
Okay, you were making this way. Okay, it's not just that he wants to fuck her. He wants to, he's developing feelings, and he doesn't understand, how he can do that after everything he went through with that other...
Ellen.
The drippy chick.
Ellen.
That he actually married in real life.
Did you say the drippy chick?
Ellen, yeah.
She totally was a drip. Let's be real.
Okay... whenever I've come across Family Ties episodes in my adult life and there's, Ellen is in one, I'm just like, ugh. She just never did it for me. And then she just, like, leaves Alex.
Tracy Joe Paulin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. She sucked. Don't come back. Don't call us. Don't tweet us.
Oh, my God.
All right. You want to get into this episode? You want to get into this world?
Yeah, let's get into this world. So it's like the first day of school. Apparently, I want to point out that the first day of school for the college, the high school, and the grade school is all the same day.
Yep. It's all, I don't know. Maybe that's how they do things
I mean, high school and grade school, of course, because it's like the same school system.
You know what, though?
But the college, too?
Is it actually the first day of college, or is he just been going to college and they just... Because I don't think he actually specifies that it's his first day of class. I don't know. But I could be wrong. I don't...
I think it's something Mallory says.
She's a high schooler, right? I don't even know.
Mallory's in college with Alex.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, because you didn't pay attention.
I did, but I just...
So,
I'm not part of the... It's not like I watched the episode leading up to this and like, oh, Mallory just graduated high school or something. So I don't...
No, she didn't just... Alex and Mallory are in college. Jennifer is in high school, and Andy is like starting kindergarten or something ridiculous like that.
Yes, and I just want to point out that Jennifer is wearing a hot blouse with some ripped jeans, and we get this whole scene where Elise is like freaked the fuck out because she's like, no daughter of mine's gonna wear ripped jeans.
Yeah.
And Jennifer's like, Mom, we saw your pictures from you and Dad when you guys were young and you were totally wearing ripped jeans. And she was trying to like come up with a reason why, and she's like, she couldn't think of it, and she's like, well, let me ask your dad. And then like 5 minutes later, Steven comes in the room and he's like, we were trying to make a political statement. And everyone's like, what? And he's like, that's why you can't wear ripped jeans. And like, we're beyond that conversation, Dad. Get a grip.
Yeah, like, we're beyond that conversation. Then they find out that Jennifer paid to get them ripped at the mall.
By a professional, because they were going to be professionally ripped.
Like, I mean, now you can just buy them off the rack ripped already, if that's, like, the hot in fashion.
Yeah, the pre-ripped jeans.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about ripped jeans. If you rip the jeans yourself...
Yeah.
And you wear them that same day, they're not going to have that, like...
Yeah.
They're not going to look like they've just been tattered, and it's going to look like you just did it, and people are going to think you're lame. So you have to make it look like that it happened over time, I guess is...
Yeah.
What I used to do is I used to cut my jeans and I used to like wash and dry them like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And then they get that tattered look. And then so hot story. Sorry to digress, but hot story. One of my friends, he always thought ripped jeans were cool, and he's kind of cashing in on that trend because I was doing it. And so he had his sister cut his jeans for him, and they didn't have that tattered look. And he got pissed, and he threw a fucking plate at her head.
Oh my God.
And he got grounded for a week. And I was like, why are you grounded? He's like, I threw a plate at my sister. And I was like, why the fuck did you do that? Why would you throw a fucking plate at your sister? He was like, because she cut my jeans, but didn't have that like cool, like tattered look that yours have. And I'm like, oh, you gotta fucking wash and dry them like 6 times, and then they'll have that cool tattered look.
I mean, I remember like back in the day, you would sandpaper your jeans a little bit to soften them up before you ripped them, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, because you can't make it look like that. You just went into your fucking arts and crafts caboodle and just grabbed out a fucking pair of scissors and cut them up, and like you have like this fresh cuts. There's no like threads hanging down.
Exactly.
No, you can't do that. People will think you're a fucking drip. People think you're fucking Tracy Joe Paulin.
Exactly. So.
All right, where are we? We gotta get through this quick.
Okay, so like it's first day of school. Andy thinks like Alex is like everything. He's kind of his hero. But the family's always trying to like draw Andy away from the worshipping of Alex.
I love that even Alex's family fucking hate him. They think he's a fucking Looney Tune.
Poor Alex.
There's a fun line.
Let's be real. Alex today probably would have a show on Fox News.
Oh yeah, for sure. He probably does. Like in this fictional universe.
Yeah.
I love that there's a line though later on in the episode from Courteney Cox's character, and they're talking about overachievers, and she says something about. It's like a running trait of all you overachievers. You all want to have a house with like a really tall fence so your family can't like sneak in.
It all does, yeah.
And it makes sense. It all makes sense because they
really do.
It all does. To be in fairness, they do treat Alex like shit. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Like, but he
could be like doing something like perfectly sweet for them, and Mallory will have some snarky little comment That barely makes sense. And Elise and Steve will roll their eyes, and they'll be like, how did this child come from us?
This is like a switch stepper scenario.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Alex is a complete reaction to their parenting.
That is true. It's on nurture over nature. I guess, like, yeah, as I said, like, that dynamic was fun in the early years of the show, but now we're 6 years deep, and how much of that can you take? Because now they're just at the point where they just hate Alex. They just hate him. They just want him gone. And you know what? He won't even move out of the house when he goes to college. He still sticks around.
Like, I forget why he, like, lives at home, but...
It's because Michael J. Fox is a star, that's why, and they don't want him off the show.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in real life, if Alex P. Keaton grew up in that type of environment, as soon as he turned 18, as soon as he graduated high school, he would have been, like, 8 states away. He would have been at UCLA or Yale or Harvard or something, far away from the Ohio Valley, far away from his family. He would have just... one-way ticket and probably never looked back until he needs that vote.
Yeah, probably. Oh, totally.
Until he needs that senatorial vote and he has to have his family in the pictures. But it'll probably be his, like, new family, like his hot new family. He's got a hot wife. He's got a cute child.
Like, maybe he has Andy with him because Andy still supports him.
Oh, yeah, his kid brother Andy. He's now a hot teen.
Because, like, think about it. Because Andy totally, like, idolizes Alex, right? And then he's going to spend those years with Alex gone, listening to everybody, like, talk crap about him. But Alex is probably, like, the only one who, like, who comes home for, like, the holidays and, like, treats Andy like an actual, like, person.
Do you think in, like, 1997, 98-ish era, Andy, he was still a teen, still living at home? All the kids are out of the house. He's the last one left, and he just hears them talking shit about Alex, and he just enters his dark goth phase. We get dark goth Andy.
It's like dark goth Andy. They're like, "Oh, Andy, no, we're gonna take those Marilyn Manson CDs from you, Andy."
His Cold Chamber T-shirt. I love it. I fucking love it. Listening to Trent Reznor.
You have to go sell those back at the mall, Andy.
Do you think he's now a rapper in an Insane Clown Posse like band?
Oh God, no.
Shout out to our
no.
Shout out to our homies who are supposed to be making our theme song, but I don't see no theme song.
And yeah, so I totally forgot where I was going.
Sorry, I threw you off.
You threw me off. No, I think Andy probably, like, actually didn't go into, like, the goth thing. I think he, like, comes down one morning, like, dressed in a polo and khakis, and his parents are like, "Hey, where are you going?" He's like, "Oh, I got the Young Republicans meeting before school." And Elise and Steve and freak out.
I see that. That's one scenario. I also see that he just rebels from everything at some point. Maybe when he's, like, in his preteen years, he just rebels against the whole world, rages against the machine. It just goes in a radical different direction. That's another possibility that I foresee happening to Andy.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many things you can do with Andy. So many things. I would love like a 2019 Andy spinoff.
Andy Keaton.
Andy the adult. Andy Ties. Yeah. Make it happen.
Somebody give us the Family Ties reboot we never knew we wanted.
Brian Bosnell, whatever the fuck his name is. He's looking for a project, right? I'm sure he needs some scratch. I don't know if he's still around. I don't even know what he's up to.
Apparently he's got a band.
I believe he went down a dark path. That's all I remember. Am I right?
So there was an arrest, I believe.
Yeah, I believe Blank Check. It was a squeaky clean Disney movie, but it wasn't squeaky clean for good old Bry Guy.
Oh, God.
Bry Guy 6969 at AOL.com. That was the screen name, I bet. All right, where are we?
Okay, so Alex talking to his family, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to take part of this, like, psychological study for overachievers. You know, they're going to pay, like, $50 for an hour of my time each week, so why not?" And, like, Mallory, of course, has some snarky comments, and it's like, just stop, girl. At least Alex is out there doing stuff. Like, what does Mallory do most of the time, really? Like, come on.
Well, Mallory is found a way to equate her fashion lifestyle with the classes that she's taking, because she's gonna compare fashion trends to, dying species. Like, the dinosaurs may have survived if they learned how to wear, like, winter jackets.
Oh.
So, she's connecting things in her little mind. So, I don't know, shout out to her.
Yeah, shockingly.
Shout out to Malls Balls. Mm-hmm. Alex goes to the little psychology testing center, I believe is what it's called. I'm not quite sure what it's called. And we meet Lauren, played by Courteney Cox, and she's in front of a little monkey, a cute little monkey, teaching the monkey sign language. The monkey knows 300 words of the English language and sign language, which is outstanding. Mm-hmm. The introduction of Lauren and Alex, they kind of have they're kind of snippy with each other in a way.
Yeah, like immediately they get on each other's nerves because she just thinks he's this self-absorbed overachiever who only cares about money. She thinks there's nothing, like, underneath the surface for him. And, like, there's something about her that's just kind of, like, that gets him in a way.
So then he starts a negotiation, negotiating how much this session will get. And I think, he was originally supposed to get a little bit more, but I think she lowered the price or whatever. So, he's getting significantly less. Then he finds out that schizophrenics get $100, so now he's upset. So this cements Lauren's theory that Michael J. Fox is just this like money-hungry whore, and she just shuts him off. And he's all pissed. He leaves in a hissy fit, and he runs home. He goes back home to his parents, and he's just bitching at them. Oh man, I can't stand that girl. She tried to shortchange me and all this stuff, and he just keeps going on and on and on about her. And at some point, Steven and Elise are thinking, they're like, I think you might have a thing for this girl.
Yeah, like, you haven't been like this, you haven't had a girl on your mind like this since Ellen the Drip.
Yeah, like, Ellen the Drip abandoned you and moved to Paris, left you high and dry.
Didn't even say goodbye, she was just gone.
She challenges you, Alex. Maybe you need a girl that challenges you. You don't want someone to just idly sit by you and just agree with you. I think you appreciate the thrill of the hunt, of the chase. Mm-hmm. And Alex says, no, I don't appreciate that. And then she calls. For some reason, Lauren decides to call. I guess she changes her mind about the price.
Yeah.
And Alex gets out. So I think Elise answers the phone, and Lisa's like, hey, Alex, it's Lauren. And he's like, oh, tell her I'm eating. Tell her I'm taking a shower. Tell her I'm eating in the shower. And he like picks up a bowl of salad and like runs out of the room, spilling it everywhere.
Oh, Alex.
Elise and Steven, they don't say anything, but they look at each other. They nod in agreement. They're like, yep, Alex is in love, and she's not a drip. She's not a drip.
Yes, she's not a drip at all.
No, she's the opposite of a drip. She's
she's got a little fire in her. She doesn't just like put up with Alex's crap.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe Alex needs to
She challenges Alex. She is what Alex needs. She challenges him in a way no one else ever has or ever could.
I like it. That would be like like dream couple, Alex P. Keaton and Hillary Clinton. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I would love to see that. Let's see. Someone needs to write some hot Alex P. Keaton and Hillary Clinton fanfic for us.
I'm pretty sure it exists already. I'm sure it does.
It probably does. Go to fanfic.net and we'll find it. We'll find it for sure. All right. Yeah. So we kind of spend a good chunk of time. We get a lot of back and forth between Alex and Lauren. He goes back to the study. They kind of fight a little bit, but then they kind of make up, and they kind of fight a little bit. And
there's like this push and shove and give and take between them.
And we get a sweet moment. We get a sweet moment where Alex is kind of curious about Lauren's life, and he kind of wants to know, why are you into psychology? And she's just like, it's just this thing that just always comes natural to me. Ever since I was a child, my mother used to just get angry at me all the time, and I just wanted to know why. I just wanted to understand why she was getting angry. Mm-hmm. And, ever since then, I've just been really into psychology. Some people have pictures of Rick Springfield hanging up in their lockers, but I had pictures of Sigmund Freud.
Yeah.
And Alex is like, hey, you know what? I can relate to that. He's like, all my friends had, Farrah Fawcett and, Jacqueline Smith hanging up in their locker, but I had Pat Nixon. I had that hottie Pat Nixon hanging up in my locker. Lauren laughed. She's like, that's fucking ridiculous, but she understood it. So they had this, I guess they have this weird outcast type of connection that draws them to each other.
Yes, there's a connection and a dynamic between the two that they haven't ever, that you can tell that neither has ever really had anyone else.
Yes, because we learned that Lauren, she previously had dated a overachiever, and she just has this I think that's why she was doing the study, because she just wanted to get to the root of his evil. of her ex-boyfriend's evil, just find out what made him click, what made him tick.
Yeah.
I gather the feeling that he left her high and dry in a similar way that Ellen left Alex high and dry. So they have that in common. Mm-hmm. And as soon as Alex touches on that, I think Lauren gets a little nervous or something, and she like drops all the papers.
Yeah.
He goes to help her pick him up, and you know their heads are close to each other, and they just lean in and they kiss each other. And
can we talk about this kiss? Because I actually really love this kiss. I love the way Michael J. Fox's hand just kind of slides up her neck to the back of her head, and they kiss. Oh my god, it was like It was good to watch.
They do have a chemistry. I will hand them that. They do have like a hot chemistry with each other. Mm-hmm. I definitely didn't see it with Ellen and Alex, even though like Alex married her in real life.
Yeah.
I definitely see it. I definitely see a connection between the two, and it's kind of interesting to see because Lauren ends up sticking around for a few episodes. She sticks around for a while.
Yeah, Lauren has 19 episodes over the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, she stay around to the end? Is she around to the bitter end?
I believe so.
Okay, she sticks around. Good for them. Do they stay together or do they break up? I honestly can't remember.
I honestly don't remember.
I have a feeling that they break up. I don't know why. Something just tells me they do. I have a feeling someone can only put up for Alex B. Keaton for so long before they just call it quits. Mm-hmm. You know, his heart belongs to Pat Nixon.
Exactly.
Oh, good old Patty, little Patty N. I am not a crook. You know that Alex B. Keaton would like fantasize about Pat Nixon. He would just be like, in his fantasy sequences, be like, I am not a crook, in his Alex P. Keaton voice.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, I wish I had a big nose like Richard Milhouse Nixon.
So,
I would nuzzle that up against her.
Oh, Patrick, stop it.
Whoa.
Yeah, so they kiss, and Alex she freaks out, and then Alex kind of freaks out. And then Alex goes home, and his family is getting ready. This is like one of my favorite parts of the episode. His family's getting ready to go to a movie, to take Andy to a movie. And it's to see Snow White.
We get a fun scene where Elise decides not to go see Snow White. This is why I love Elise. They're all going. At the last minute, Elise's like, you know what? I'm just going to stay home. I'm just going to sit here and talk to my son because he's obviously distraught. I was like, Mom, why don't you go to the movies? And she's like, you know what? Mm-hmm. I'm tired of Snow White. I'm done with Snow White. You know, anyone who just sits around and just waits for their Prince Charming to come and kiss them to wake them up from a deep sleep, they don't deserve it. I want a girl who will work for it, work her way to the top, and then buy her own Prince Charming. And we get like a little like audience clap, and I was like, That's why I love you, Elise. That's why I love you. You're no Disney princess.
Yeah.
You're the real deal. You're the real motherfucking deal. Top TV mom right there. You and Maggie Seaver need to have a battle.
So 1987 was the 50th anniversary of Snow White.
And I remember going to see it in the movie theaters.
Me too. I remember having like the movie poster in my bedroom.
Yeah, I remember being all excited.
Like, I remember my mom taking the thumbtacks and like hammering them in.
Then we get a funny line though after Elise tells Alex about the whole line about Snow White. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, I hate to hear what you're going to think about Bambi.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then I was like, wait, I kind of want to know her thoughts on Bambi, but we don't get it. So I was trying to think, I'm like, you know, what kind of female empowerment issue will Elise have with... If anything, I would think that she would like Bambi, because Bambi's mom was a single mom who, you know, was raising Bambi on her own in the woods. She did it all on her own.
And then she dies, and the dad just swoops in like nothing ever happened.
And I was like, come with me, son. Come with me, son, if you want to have antlers. Come with me if you want to live.
Not gonna lie, Bambi is not one of the Disney movies I enjoy to rewatch.
Like a year or two after Snow White came out, Bambi was re-released in theaters. And I went and seen it. It was the first time I'd ever seen Bambi.
Yeah.
Traumatized. Mm-hmm. Fucking traumatized.
Like, okay, all I remember about seeing Bambi in the theater is, like, I went with, like, some school friend, like, my friends and, like, some random girl from school, like, her dad took us. Like, that's what I remember.
You don't remember being traumatized and just crying the whole car ride home?
No, I don't.
Because Bambi's mom died and there was a forest fire and, I don't know, you're like, what happened to all the other animals? How come they don't show the other animals? Like,
yeah. I think I was more traumatized by The Fox and the Hound.
That was pretty traumatizing, too. Like, poor Todd and Copper, you know what? They were best friends growing up and they're pitted against each other.
Yeah.
I think we do need those challenging positions in movies because I feel like it shapes us into who we are today. Am I real? Am I right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we don't get that with like kids movies today. Like they kind of shield us from all the horrors.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like, Lion King, you get Mufasa dying
That is true. That is
at
true.
Scar's hand.
Yeah, I guess.
I just watched that like 2 days ago. So, and I mean like the new version.
See, I still think of it as a 1993 movie that is just remade for today. Technically, is what it is. Yeah.
I know.
Listen,
when you list off movies and the nephew goes, Lion King, you end up going to the Lion King.
Does he like Scar? Is he a fan of Scar?
I don't think so, actually. I think this is like the first time he's like not into the villain.
You know what?
All I know is that he like went to see it like the night before with his mom, and he really wanted to see it again with me.
I am gonna throw this out there though. I never like. I love Disney villains. Like I love Ursula. I love Jafar. Mm-hmm. I don't know, everything. But fucking Scar kind of sucks. Scar's not that. Yeah. He's kind of a shitty villain. I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing. The Lion King is basically Hamlet, and Hamlet is like one of my least favorite plays in the whole world, and The Lion King is like one of my least favorite Disney movies.
So you equate Lion King with terror because you hate Hamlet? Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm not a big fan of Hamlet either. I was always a Macbethian fan. Macbeth.
Like, okay, here's the thing. In college, I had to read Hamlet like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different times. It was in the curriculums for my classes between my theater and English.
I get you, girl. I get you.
So I was just like, no more. And then like everybody, like all these companies, like I'm like, just no. I don't want any more Hamlet. We're done. So
we pretty much have recapped the first episode of Last of the Red Hat Psychologists.
Oh, we forgot about the part where Lauren comes over to like meet with the family and Alex gets like super nervous.
That was pretty awkward though. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird. I would have freaked out too.
That was really awkward because like okay, like I think Steven and Elise could be like pretty chill. They wouldn't purposely be nasty about Alex. And, like, there might actually be some pride in some of the stuff he's achieved, even if they don't agree politically with, like, stuff. But then, like, Mallory, and maybe even a little bit Jennifer, I feel like they'd be bitchy just to be bitchy.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't understand that whole part. Like, I don't know. That whole part, that whole aspect of this psychology project or test or whatever creeped me out. I was like, if I had known that this woman was going to come to my house and like interview my family to get like more into my inner psyche, I'd have been like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah.
But then a part of me was thinking, it's like, you know what? It probably wasn't, but maybe she just had a weird attraction for Alex that she couldn't understand. So maybe she just wanted to kind of be a sly stalker in a way.
Well, I think because she was like studying several different like overachievers, she wanted to like see them in their home environment if possible, to see like what kind of environment they came from, what the rest of the family was like, if there was like a thread, like a driving force behind all of them that was similar kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I guess I didn't think of it that way. I don't know. I still thought it was creepy.
Yeah, it was so weird.
I still thought Lauren had like a hidden agenda, and it was very off-putting. I don't know. Like, I would have just immediately like backed out of the project at that point if I knew that would have to happen.
Then it's like, what are you hiding? What are you hiding, Patrick?
I'm like, it's not worth my $50 minus the $20 like takeaway that she added onto it at the last minute. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be honest. The second half of this is all kind of just like a retread of the first episode. It's just more of that give and take where they're just kind of back and forth on if they like each other or not.
But now they're like kind of mad at each other because they kiss.
There's a whole new dynamic to it. So now they have this history of the kiss, and you know, they regret it, but then they don't regret it. I don't know. The monkey's pissed at Alex for some reason too.
Well, because Lauren's sitting there like confiding in the monkey.
Yeah. All right. We have to talk about that. So the monkey knows 300 words. We know the monkey knows 300 English words. Mm-hmm. Lauren's just sitting down at the table with the monkey. Just, I don't know. It's like she's hanging out with her gal pals, just bitching about this boy. But she don't have gal pals because no one understands Lauren. No one gets her. She has no friends except this monkey. Mm-hmm. And the monkey's just like, yes, girl, I totally get you. He's a fucking a doofus. You need to run as far away from him as you can. Lauren agrees, but she's like, but, on the other hand, he's a good kisser. He's cute. He's got a cool new haircut. He wears power suits around. I love a guy in a power suit. A guy who wears a power suit to fucking English class gets me wet, makes me moist.
Oh my God, no, stop.
The monkey's like, whatever, bitch. I don't know. And then Alex comes in the room because he's like mad at her for something. He's always mad at her. He always like finds something new out about Lauren. Something new that she did.
Yeah.
So he comes in all pissed off. The monkey makes a monkey noise, and then he runs off.
Yeah, he like just runs out of the room. He's like, uh-oh.
Oh, and
like the monkey knows what's up.
we skipped over the polygraph test, by the way. I forgot about this part.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I just want to point out that I've always hated polygraphs on television shows. I don't know. It's just stupid. It's just dumb. So from what I know about a polygraph test, it's a yes or no. You can only ask yes or no questions. And there's no there's no way to actually confirm if the person's lying or not. It just goes on the way they're reacting to the question.
Yeah, it's based on like how you react if your heart rate jumps or something.
So
that's why they're not admissible in court.
Lauren will ask open-end questions to Alex, and Alex will answer these open-end questions. Mm-hmm. And then the polygraph machine will just like make a buzzing noise when he lies.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's not how a polygraph test works.
Yeah.
Stop trying to push this like fake polygraph test system onto the world, Family Ties. Don't you understand? It's all yes or no questions. Then you have to ask like 20 like baseline questions ahead of time.
Exactly.
To get an idea. Yeah.
We watch enough true crime stuff to know that.
I've seen enough episodes of Alias.
Yeah.
Where I know that you can cheat a polygraph test.
Exactly.
You see the episode of Jennifer Garner's being like schooled by Matthew Vaughn, what's his name?
Vaughn, yeah.
Yeah, Matthew Vaughn, how to pass the test with Sloan, the SD6 test.
Because she was like a double agent and didn't know it, or whatever.
Well, she was like a double agent because she thought she was in the CIA, but then she found out she wasn't in the CIA. It was really just like the anti-CIA, but then she was really in the CIA, and she's also a student, and she might be in another, I don't know, it was a great show. I fucking love Alias. Come back. Reboot that show. Jennifer Garner, what are you doing? You're not doing anything right now, except for like bringing Ben Affleck Burger King on his way to rehab.
Oh, I'm sure she does more than that.
All right, how does this end? Because I feel like we're just meandering at this point.
So they, they start fighting in the session, and Alex is like, you know what, I'm done. I'm just done. Send me my check, and we're fine. She's like, oh, see, I knew you were just in this for the money, yada, yada, yada. They're, like, really going at it. And then, Alex kind of, like, storms out, and she's just left there alone. And then Alex is, like, trying to figure out, like, what's going on, and, does he have the heart-to-heart with Mallory?
I think he does, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mallory, like, for her, like, once in a while, like, says, Alex, this is, like, the first time you've, like, had any kind of girl, and this is good for you, or something, whatever. And he's like, don't spread it around that I like her.
I think Mallory liked Lauren, like, in their brief interaction with each other.
She knew Lauren was in a trip.
I think Mallory has a good read on people. She probably met Ellen, and she's like, this bitch is a drip. This bitch is a fucking leaky faucet. Mm-hmm. Just fucking dripping all night long. Alex, you know what? My brother Alex is a fucking joke, but I love him. He's my brother. He needs a girl that's like a full wash. We need a full-on wash. Mm-hmm. I don't know. She was wearing that cute pink shirt with the suspenders. I liked it.
Yeah.
She's got a style. It's not the hottest style. She's no me. Mm-hmm. You know what? She's got her own thing going on. I like it. I dig it.
Yeah.
Plus, she's got brains, but she's not overly conceited about those brains. Mm-hmm. And she's into psychology. Psychology is cool. So yeah, you know what? I need to like push my brother towards her. So yeah, Alex, I think you should. I think you should go after this girl. You two, on the surface, are like oil and water, but opposites attract, to quote that Paula Abdul song that has yet to come out, I think.
Yeah, I think that's still a few ways.
2 steps forward, 2 steps back.
Right.
We come together like opposites attract. You know what? I could picture
Yeah.
Mallory like accidentally writing that line, and her friend Paula Abdul is just like, I like that. I'm going to steal that.
Yeah, because the song comes out in 1988.
And then she moves to LA, becomes a Lincoln girl, and then, I don't know, makes that song with the cool cat guy.
November 28th, 1989.
Okay, I knew it was a little bit later, because I knew it was a little bit older when it came out. Great song, great song.
Yep.
I wish we owned the rights to it so we could play it on this episode. I wish it could be our theme song. So, I don't know, we kind of get Alex runs to Lauren's dorm room. It has like a John Hughes movie kind of vibe, methinks.
Yeah.
Like meeting Molly Ringwald at the airport, chasing after her. Because, I don't know, she's closing up shop. She's closing up shop on her psychology test, and it's done. It's over with. And I don't know, let's be real, like, he probably won't run into her anymore, but he's like, you know what, I'm going to go buy her...
Yeah, well, because he's, like, taken himself out of the study.
Yeah.
He like, goes to her apartment, like, it's like this little studio apartment in, like, some old converted Victorian house or whatever, you know?
It's cute, too. I liked it. It was cute. I liked it. I like the wood, the mahogany.
Courtney Cox has, like, the best TV apartment.
This is, like, her first actual, probably, TV role. And, you know, she put in her fucking contract. She's like, I need to have a cute TV apartment, or otherwise I'm not doing this. And they were like, well, you know what? You are going to be the star of this summer's Masters of the Universe, so... all right, I guess so. Yeah, all right, we'll allow it. And she's like, one day, to tie back with Lion King, she's out there with the director of this episode, and the director's like, one day, Courtney Cox, this will all be yours. All this land will be yours. You see that right there?
Oh my gosh.
Cougar Town to the left. The front set at the Warner Brothers Sony Studios is over there. Straight across is where they're going to film Screen. And over there is the set of Dirt. We're not going to talk about that, though. That's the land we don't talk about. That was her FX series, Dirt.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that one.
And, yeah, so Alex pours his heart out to...
Oh, my God.
And she's like, I felt this way for you ever since the day I met you. I'm so glad you came here to my dorm. I was sitting here alone, just reading this psychology book. I'm going to take his poster off the wall and put up your poster, Alex B. Keaton. And then she runs her hands through his moose hair. She's like, oh, it's so hard and stiff. It's so hard and stiff. And he's like, you know what else is hard and stiff, Lauren? You know what else is hard and stiff? And then freeze frame. Everyone laughs. Freeze frame.
Jesus Christ, Patrick.
All right, how did it really end?
Okay, they're still kind of bantering because he's like, I want to make sure you have the right address for my check. She's like, and she gives him a check because I guess she had it on her. And she's like, well, I guess we're done now. He's like, yeah, I guess so. And they're doing this like awkward.
Hold on. Why are you so shocked that she would have a check on her? Like, why would she not have a check with her?
Well, she has the check from the psychology department on her.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe she...
Like, was she going to drop it in the mail the next morning?
Probably. Maybe that was her game plan. She didn't expect Alex P. Keaton to show up at her cute apartment.
Or maybe she was plotting to drop by his house the next morning.
Ooh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe she was. Maybe she's going to stop by. She's going to wear a hot number. She's going to wear that pink shirt with the suspenders. She's going to show up, she probably knows his schedule. So she's going to show up, before he gets ready.
Yeah, she probably get a D at least.
Yeah, she's like, all right, I know at 7:45 he leaves the house to drop Andy off at kindergarten, so I'm going to go there at like 7:20. Just catch him after he has his morning orange juice. The container of orange juice. I love the old, like, container of orange juice that Elise has, like, all ready for the family in the morning.
Yeah.
Freshly squeezed.
One thing I always loved about Family Ties is, like, the food was, like, the cereal was always in one of those, like, Tupperware container type things for cereal.
Well...
There was always, like, a pitcher of juice or water. It was never, like, or milk.
Well, this is how I've gathered it. So, Stephen and Elise... They probably lived at like a hippie commune in the 60s when they were, wooing each other. And they probably, those houses that, like 40 people live in and they live off the land and they like milk cows and, they don't buy stuff from the man. They squeeze their own orange juice and, they don't buy bottled water. They put it in, they buy Britas. They buy Britas and get that fresh filtered water.
Yeah.
I feel like the producers of the show really tapped into that because although they did grow up to be yuppies with like actual jobs at one point in time.
Oh yeah.
They still had their hippie ideas like instilled in them and.
Yeah. Well, don't forget that Alex was actually born in like Africa when Elise and Stephen were in the Peace Corps.
So Alex was probably born in the 60s. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like he's probably like 66, 67 was probably his birth year.
Something like that. I mean, that's Michael J. Fox's birth year is like 1966, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I believe I was reading this earlier. So Stephen and Elise met in 1964 at college campus, I believe. They joined the Peace Corps. They went around the world. They continued their college education. They got degrees. And then, they just pumped out kids. So then it's like, oh, shit, like, we got to get real now. Now we got to get real. We can't just, be fun and fancy free around the world. So Stephen was kind of like, you know what? I need a real job, but I'm going to work for a public broadcasting channel. It's still not, it's still for the people. And Elise is like, you know what? I'm just going to be a freelance architect. I don't want a boss. I want to work for myself, but I want to get paid bank. So
yeah.
I don't know. Good for them. But they do evolve over time. They begin to embrace the 80s lifestyle, especially their kids kind of bring them into that world too, because
very much so.
Their kids grow up. Like their kids aren't going to be like, hey mom, can we just walk barefoot around this bodega? It's like, no, you got to wear shoes, kid.
So like I said, Alex is very much a reaction to their parenting.
It is great.
So Lauren and Alex are kind of still like snippy with each other, and then they kind of start to like drip drop the truth about their feelings, and then they start like kissing.
I like that you said drip drop as a callback to Ellen the Drip.
And then they have like another hot kiss.
Lauren is a full-on garden hose. She's a fire hose just flailing around.
Yeah.
Compared to the drip of Ellen. Yeah. They kiss, they smooch, we get that long freeze frame. Sha-la-la-la, the instrumental version of the theme song comes on, and I don't know, we get her for 17 more episodes at least.
Yeah, something like that.
And yeah, that's the origin story of Lauren and Alex. Lauren P. Keaton.
I mean, okay, because of her role on Family Ties, that's why I knew who she was when she did Friends. I was like, oh, hey, that's Alex's girlfriend from Friends.
Yeah, all right. Between this, Masters of the Universe, Dancing in the Dark, this was definitely the catapult to Courteney Cox's career. And if it wasn't for those 3 roles, we wouldn't be talking about her right now. She would have just been Lauren, the girl who we wished had a hot career, who just, I don't know, nothing ever became of her. She would have been the Chad Allen of the show, the Chad Allen. Not Chad Allen, who was that other girl? That other girl that you said that was on Our House, the one who, had no Wikipedia page.
I don't even remember her name. I don't have it in front of me, so it's...
I know, we were like, oh, we love Lauren. I wish she would have done more things, but nope.
Yeah.
She's just like a footnote in history, and who knows? Who knows who would have played Monica? Maybe even Justine Bateman. We don't know.
Wasn't she up for the role?
Probably. I'm sure everyone in Hollywood that was around the age that Courteney Cox was at the time of Friends was probably vying for the role of Monica Geller.
Yeah, probably.
If they only knew, they probably would have tried a little bit harder.
I feel like they brought pretty much everybody in to read for those roles, but only certain people clicked. I mean, I think David Schwimmer is the only one who had a role written for him.
Then they just kind of they casted it around him, to see who worked with him, and who looked hot.
Which is crazy to think.
Yeah, David Schwimmer is supposedly the
one they wanted as Ross that they'd
they saw David Schwimmer and was like, you got that look we want. Well, I mean, I guess he kind of has that hot nerd look in a way. Let's be real.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that I'm guessing they were going for. We want a guy who's a nerd but also kind of attractive. Maybe you'd want to fuck him, but I don't know, kind of thing.
He's attractive enough that you think this really pretty girl would go for him.
The hottest girl with the hottest hairstyle in 1994, just dropped everything for him.
So,
What a strange world. What a strange world we live in. That, you know what, the whole course of history is decided by this 19 episodes of Family Ties.
That is wild, huh?
And a forgotten 1987 He-Man movie.
Yes.
And a 22-second appearance in a Bruce Springsteen music video. And Cocoon the Return, the long-forgotten sequel to Cocoon.
Yes, exactly.
It's great. All right, on a scale of 1 out of 5 Sigmund Freud posters hanging up in a locker, How many Sigmund Freud posters hanging up in a locker?
3.5.
I'm gonna give it a 2. I don't know. It was all right. I mean, it should have just been one episode. Let's be real. It should have just been one episode.
Yeah, it could have been one episode. It was really, it was 5 times too long. Even for the 80s standards, especially actually considering it was the 80s, I'm surprised it was that long. Because, I have watched so many shows from the 80s where people, get engaged in the first act and are married by the last act. So I'm like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah, so I think if this was just one episode, I would have given a solid 4. But the second part of it just retreads a lot of the same themes of the first episode, and it just kept going back and forth with these two.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, just fuck in the shower already. Jesus Christ. What's going on? And we don't, it takes an hour to get to that moment. It took a whole fucking hour, and I was like, I don't got time for this shit. I don't got fucking time.
Oh, you're so...
And
oh my gosh.
even with all that extra time, you would have thought we would got some fun subplots with the other family members. Even Truman's pissed at the pacing of this episode. Listen to him.
I'm like, did the Amazon Prime guy just show up?
I don't think I ordered anything, but he could have. Who knows?
I don't think
yeah, but I don't know. We were robbed of fun subplots of the rest of the family. I don't know. I would have loved to seen I would have loved to see Jennifer's first day at school. How did she fit in?
Yeah, I feel at the very least Andy or Jennifer's first day of school should have been tied in more to this, and it wasn't.
Yeah, maybe Jennifer made a friend at school. Maybe she met a Gia girl from Full House that was a bad influence on her. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe a boy made fun of her and she gets crushed and I don't know. She has a strong comeback. Elise gives her this big fuck men kind of talk. But no, we're robbed. We're robbed of so much.
Maybe Andy spouted some pro Reagan stuff to a friend, and the friend was like, hold on, no, Andy.
Yeah, I would have loved to see Andy at school, and I don't know, maybe Andy's kindergarten teacher is a Democrat, and we could have got fun banter between a 5-year-old and a fucking 26-year-old teacher. We're just robbed of so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't know, even fun adult storylines, maybe Steve and Elise are up to something. Maybe they have a dinner party to go to and they don't know what to bring. And I don't know, she's supposed to make a pie and the pie falls on the floor and she has to, I don't know, go buy a store-bought one and she passes it off as a homemade one. Something, but I don't know, we just get an hour.
I feel Elise wouldn't care, she'd be like, yeah, unfortunately, I had to get a store-bought pie. I mean,
that's probably true to her character.
I feel Elise doesn't have that same shame. I would not bring a store-bought pie somewhere, but...
That is true to her character, but I just wanted something else. Instead, we just get this whole back and forth between Courteney Cox and Michael J. Fox, and it's just come on, already, just fucking stick it in her, Jesus Christ. And it never happened.
I'm trying to imagine how 6-year-old me sat through this.
I probably, because I used to watch the show all the time, and I definitely remember episodes with Courteney Cox. I do not remember this episode. Mm-hmm. Probably because I watched it and then I shut it off just because nothing happened. Nothing at all.
Yeah, I mean, I probably was playing with blocks or maybe Barbies or something while watching this, or my She-Ra figures or something.
I was probably like, Mom, can we just shut this off and go see Masters of the Universe, which is still probably in theaters at this point?
Probably not, because I don't think it was that big of a hit.
Well, it came on your birthday, August 7th, 1987.
Yeah.
And movies, even if movies weren't hits, I think they tend to stay in theaters longer, though, back in the day. Let's be real.
Maybe. I don't know. I just know that, Spider-Man Far From Home was still in theaters the other day, and Axe didn't want to see it because he goes, I haven't seen the one with Thanos yet.
Oh, Jesus.
He's like, I can't be spoiled. And I'm like, you were just too cute.
The next time we do Family Ties, we'll pick a hotter episode. Specifically, one without El the Drip. If we accidentally do one with El the Drip, then we're gonna, I don't know, boil our eyes out.
If we do Family Ties again, we should do the episode of Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah. He's the uncle, the drunk uncle or something.
The drunk uncle?
Yeah. I always fucking love myself a good drunk uncle because I'm the drunk uncle, let's be real. I'm excited about next week. I don't know if you are, but I am.
I am.
So next week.
And I don't have to look it up because I know what it is.
Next week, we're going to go to a simpler time in our lives. We're still pretty young, but we're getting to that age where, I know, we're starting to be interested in teen things, but not quite. We still like to try to grasp ourselves to our childhood. And what better way to do that than with a little boy who just goes on these wild adventures in his mind?
Yes.
I am talking about the one, the only, Bobby's World.
I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, we're doing an episode of Bobby's World. It was a Saturday morning show for Fox, right?
Yeah, it was it aired from 1990 to 1998 on Fox Kids.
Wasn't it on primetime at one point? Didn't they do like a primetime run briefly?
I don't think so, but I haven't dove into the history of the show.
Part of me thinks, all right, so I remember one year, so they had Batman the Animated Series on at 7 p.m. on a Sunday night, and I'm pretty certain between Batman and The Simpsons, I think they used Bobby's World as a palate cleanser.
Maybe.
Between the two shows. Seem to remember this. I seem to remember watching Bobby's World at primetime and just being so excited to watch Bobby's World at 7:30 at night and not having it be on a VHS tape.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out, okay, if it started in 1990, I could see myself watching it in the day.
I think it was like 1992-ish. It definitely had a prime time. I don't think it was on prime time for very long, but it did. It did. I know it did. Correct me if I'm wrong, Twitter. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Might be wrong.
We might be doing a huge no-bone zone next week. Who knows? You know what? Let me Google it real quick.
Google. We're Googling right now. Google. We're Googling right now.
I can't find anything about it, so I don't know. Who cares? All right, well.
I can't find it without, actually looking up a calendar.
I don't know. Join us next week when we talk about Bobby's World, and I'm excited for this world. We haven't picked an episode out yet, but I can't wait to hang out with Uncle Ted. Maybe we can do the one where Uncle Ted is in a jacuzzi and he farts and you see the fart bubbles come up. Who knows?
Oh, my God.
Always one of my favorite episodes. All right. Where can you follow our wild adventures? Cat Hall said the author, or where can you follow us?
You can find us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr at A Very Special Podcast. You can find us at veryspecialpodcast.com, saltyrockmedia.com, on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify.
Oh, hold on.
And Podcoin.
Hold on. We got a hot question the other day on YouTube. So someone asked us how come our episodes are delayed on getting on Spotify. And my answer to that is I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how Spotify works, but the episodes are pushed there at some point, but I don't know how it works. So, I don't know.
Yeah, you just push the episodes out and it's each podcast server picks it up as soon as it reset, does it,
Yeah, so I think Spotify may be delayed, but thank you for sending me that hot question. You're probably gonna get this answer 6 months later, but whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, you can follow us on Podcoin. So what is Podcoin? It's a hot new app.
I don't know, you tell me about it.
Yeah, it's a hot new app in which you get paid to listen to podcasts, including us or any of your other favorite podcasts. All you have to do is just go onto your favorite app store, just download the Podcoin app. You can sign up using our promo code, Very Special, and you will earn 300 Podcoins right off the bat. And then, as you listen to episodes of podcasts, you slowly start earning these coins, and you can redeem them for hot items such as Amazon gift cards, Dunkin' Donut gift cards, Starbucks cards, or you can even donate to charity. So I say that you just stop what you're doing at this moment in time, download the app, use code Very Special, get it right now, and just listen to everything under the sun, including us. Listen to every episode of ours, again, and again, and again. And as always, girl, as always,
bye!
Watch the skies for Ellen the Drip, flying away on a plane to Paris, where we will never see her again.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.